about the biography of Helen Keller. As we learned what are the types of essay writing and what is biography. So in this chapter we will study the life and education and works experience of Helen Keller. Okay, who was Helen Keller? Helen Keller was an American lady and she was born in 1880 in United States of America. She was quite a normal child, but in 1882, when she was 2 years old, she fell dangerously ill, and then she became blind and deaf. So this was a miserable event of Helen Keller in her life, and she forget how to speak. So her family and her father asked a lady teacher, Miss Sullivan, to teach Helen Keller. Who was Miss Sullivan? Miss Sullivan was the teacher of Helen Keller, and she was earlier blind and deaf, but she got her eyes back, and then she was really thankful to God, and that's why she wanted to teach that kind of children who are not able to see and who are not able to hear. After that, in the age of 10, she got her power, or he got her abilities about learning anything, and then she took admission in a school and she passed all her examination, and after that she took admission in Harvard University and she visited Pakistan in 1956. She delivered her speech in front of these kind of children, and she appreciated the volunteer teachers who are teaching in Pakistan blind and deaf children. So the biography of Helen Keller teaches us that we have to thankful to Almighty Allah. He has given us a lot of blessings. We can hear, we can see, we can speak, but there are a lot of people who are unable to see and who are unable to hear, but they do struggle in their life and they achieve their goal. So we should not give up in our life and we should do struggle. Okay, this is page number 28. Open your books. Page number 28. Keep your pencils with you. Okay, I start reading. Paragraph number 1, page number 28. Helen Keller. How fortunate are those who are born into this world with 2 eyes to see all its beauty. But there are some unfortunate people who can neither see nor hear. This world, which is so full of beautiful colors and sweet sounds, appears colorless and dull to these poor souls. What a misfortune! They cannot see the lovely flowers blooming in the gardens and hear the birds singing sweet songs. They indeed feel very sad, for their fate is so hard. Worse is the fate of those who can see and hear once and then no more. But they are so courageous and bold that they do not look unhappy. They accept the challenge of their fate and try to live cheerfully. Okay, first we have to learn the difficult words in this paragraph, and then we will do the explanation. The first word is in the first line, and this is the second word of the first line. How fortunate. Fortunate. Fortunate, we use this word for the lucky people. Okay, lucky or good luck. The second word is in the third line, unfortunate. this is the antonym of the word fortunate. Okay. Fortunate is used for lucky people who have good luck. Okay. And unfortunate is used for those people who have bad luck. Not the bad luck, okay? People who have bad luck. And misfortune is called bad luck. Okay, there is another word, worse. Worse is the comparative degree of bad. And fact. Okay, what is fact? The thing which is written that it will be happen. So this is called fact. Which have been decided by God for us. And there is it is complete. So fortunate, lucky people who have good luck, and unfortunate who have bad luck. The people who have bad luck, and misfortune is a bad luck. Worse is a comparative degree of bad, and fact, the life events which have been decided by God for us, that it will be happen, must happen. So these are the few words which are difficult, and you have to learn these difficult words. Okay. What is the writer is saying in this paragraph? He is describing these kind of people who are fortunate, lucky people, who are able to see, to hear, and to speak. So these are the fortunate people. And unlucky people who cannot hear, who cannot see, who cannot speak, and misfortune, they are unable to do these things. So there is the third last line, but they are so courageous and bold that they do not look unhappy. Okay, so the writer is writing about that kind of people who are unfortunate because they cannot see, they cannot speak, they cannot hear, but they do struggle in their life and they achieve their goals. They are courageous. Courageous means bold. They never give up. Okay, so Helen Keller is just like a lady who is courageous. Okay, in page number 28, come to the second paragraph. Among such brave and courageous persons, the name of Miss Helen Keller tops the list. And the third paragraph, Helen Keller was born in 1880 in a little town in the United States of America. Up to the age of 2, she was quite a normal child. She could see and hear everything. In February 1882, little Helen fell dangerously ill. All felt sorry for her because she became blind and deaf. Her parents looked sad. Everybody was unhappy and the little child felt miserable. Okay, there is a difficult word. Last word of third paragraph, miserable. Which means that sorrowful, or we can say that causing extreme discomfort. Remember that you have to focus on these things, just like she was born in 1880 and in 1882 February she fell dangerously ill. These kind of lines come in MCQs. So what you have to do, you have to underline these sentences in which the years, any kind of important information are given. Okay, in this paragraph the writer is writing about the life, early part of Helen Keller's life. Okay, when she was felt dangerously ill in 1882, and then what happened? She became blind and deaf, and this was a miserable event or a very discomfort event for her family, and everyone was felt sorrow for her. Okay, come to the next paragraph, page number 28. When she was 7 years old, her life suddenly changed. Helen's father asked a lady named Miss Sullivan to come and look after his blind child. Miss Sullivan had herself become blind when she was a child, but afterwards she got her eyesight back. She thanked God for his kindness to her by helping other blind people and making them happy and content. She started teaching Helen. One day she took Helen to the river bank and put her hand in the water. Slowly she made her write the word water on the sand. She made her do it several times, and thus Helen learned how to spell the word water. She felt very excited because she knew that at last there would be some light in her dark world. So first we write difficult words. Who are blind people? Who are unable to see, and who are deaf, who are unable to hear. Okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Page number 29, line number 5. The last word of this sentence is content. Content means satisfied. Okay? Maybe we can say that happy. Okay. When she was 7 years old, another life event of her life when she was 7 years old. Okay? So there was a lady, Miss Sullivan, who taught her how to speak and how to write. Okay. How can she taught her? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Line number 6. She took Helen to the river bank and put her hand in the water, dipped her finger or hand in the water. Slowly she made her write the word water on the sand. Just like that. W-A-T-E and R. and slowly she learned how to write. Okay, she made her do it several times until Helen learned how to spell the word water. Just see, there is only one word is water. But when she learned to write the word water, she just felt that there is a light in her life because she was blind and she was deaf. But when she writes a word water, so she can understand that she can write and she can learn each and everything. So that's why she was very excited and happy and even contented. Okay. Page number 29, come to the second paragraph of the page number 29. The work was very slow and difficult, but Miss Sullivan was very kind and patient. Little by little, she taught Helen about mountains and rivers and about history and geography. She even taught her how to count and do stuff. Okay, patient. Patient. The noun is patience. With calm. Okay. So she learned write and speak. Little by little means bit by bit, or slowly. But Miss Sullivan taught her the names or the figures of mountains, rivers, and even she taught her geography. Okay, is the word wait. Geography and each and everything. And after that, she got one thing that there is nothing impossible in this world, and she started struggling in her life. Okay, come to the next paragraph, page number 29. When she was 8, she was sent to a school for blind children. She had forgotten how to speak, but her teacher helped her. She would put Helen's hand on her own lips and let her feel the movements of the lips at the time of speaking. Helen did many exercises like this, and at last, at the age of 10, she was able to speak again. What a joy! She exclaimed. By and by, she learned to read books. These books were printed with raised points instead of letters, and she read them by touching with her fingers. In this way, okay, the previous sentence is these books were printed with raised points instead of letters, and she read them by touching with her fingers. In this way, she was able to learn as much as other people could. She passed all her examinations easily. She went to college and then to Harvard University. She studied at the university and graduated without difficulty. She proved to be a better student than many others. Her teachers loved and admired her.
You stand in the mid when you are reading. अगर आप पहले आप रीड कर लो, उसके बाद डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स लिखो, क्योंकि जब मैं कट करूँगी ना, आप वहाँ खड़े हुए हो बिल्कुल, तो आप एडिट हो जाओगे.
ओके, यहाँ
जैसे आप अभी लिखना है, आपने पैराग्राफ रीड कर लिया, आप लिख लें और फिर एक्सप्लेन कर लें. बट आप खड़े जब वर्ड्स एक्सप्लेन करेंगे तो भले साइड पे हो जाए, बट जब रीड कर रहे हैं तो फिर बीच में खड़े हो.
Okay, there is a word Harvard University. This is a Cambridge University. Cambridge, oldest institution. Okay, in the US. teachers. Okay, when she was 8, at the age of 8, there is another life event. Okay, what happened? She went to school. Okay, you have to memorize these life events of Helen Keller. Okay, she went to school for blind children. She had forgotten how to speak. Then what? How could the teachers of Helen Keller? Okay, get this image. At the age of 8, when she went to school, she was forgotten how to speak, but Helen Keller's teacher helped her. How they helped her? They put Helen's hand on their lips while they were speaking, so she could feel the movements of lips, and then she just moved her lips just like that. And after that, she learned how to speak. When she learned to speak, she passed all her examination easily, and after that she took admission in Harvard University, okay, which is the oldest institution in the US, and it is the Cambridge institution. And when she passed her graduation from that university, she helped the blind and poor children. Okay, come to the page number 30. This is the last paragraph or chapter. Okay, I read this paragraph. In 1956, this wonderful lady visited Pakistan. She was 76, but still very active. Pakistani people gave her a warm welcome. She came to a country to help the blind and the deaf. She addressed many gatherings in Karachi and visited the school for blind, deaf and dumb. What a nice school, she exclaimed. How wonderful is to be with you, my dear sons and daughters. Always be happy and cheerful, never curse your fate. You can do everything in this world, she said to the students of school, and admired heartily all the ladies who were working and teaching there voluntarily with so much zeal and selfless affection. So first, I write the difficult words. Cheerful. Happy. Plus. Also, great harm. Okay, there is another word. Voluntary. Okay, voluntary means intention. Here is another word, zeal. Zeal means ambitious. And yes. Okay, there is another life event of Helen Keller's life. In 1956, she visited Pakistan. Yes, at the age of 76 years old. Okay. Yes, and she visited the city Karachi, and she addressed the large gatherings of blind and deaf children and their teachers who were voluntarily worked there, means intentionally worked there to help the poor children and these kind of blind and deaf children. Okay, what were her words? How wonderful is to Always be happy and cheerful. Never curse your fate. Okay, what is the meaning of that sentence? Basically, when we harmed by nature, or when we get something just like harmful for us, many of people, they curse their fate. So she said that never curse your fate, because fate means it is written by God that it will be happen in your life. So if you are poor in this case and you are unable to handle or unable to change this kind of fate, so why do the people they curse their fate? That's why never curse your fate. You can do everything in this world. Be motivated, be courageous. You can do everything in this world. Nothing is impossible. She said to the students of the school and admired heartily all the ladies who were working and teaching there voluntarily. Intentionally they were working there with so much zeal. Zeal means ambitious and selfless affection. Just like Miss Suleiman, who were helping these kind of children. So there are a lot of institutions nowadays in the whole Pakistan and in Karachi who are helping these kind of children and who are working well to teach blind, deaf and dumb children. Okay, so what is the moral or what is the message of the whole story, or how can we take a message from the life of Helen Keller? Helen Keller was a lady who could not see, who could not hear, and even who could not speak. And she was very misfortunate because she can see, she can hear and she can speak. But when she felt dangerously ill, so what happened? She became blind and deaf. And after that, she forgot to speak. But she was a courageous lady. She never gave up. She struggled for her life and she achieved her goal. So the message of the biography of Helen Keller is that we should be motivated, we should be courageous, we should help others voluntarily. Volunteer yourself and help them. Okay? So you can notice few points in this chapter, such as I have told you what are biographies and how can we write essay. Okay, so the first paragraph of this chapter, page number 28, this is the whole introduction about the fate, about the fortunate people, misfortunate people and about the luck. But in the second and third paragraph, okay, this is about a personality who is Helen Keller and just introduction of her life. In the second paragraph and third, fourth and fifth, these are the life events of Helen Keller. So it means that if you are asked about an essay on my personality, yes, how would you write about my personality? First of all, in the introduction paragraph, you will write the worth of the personalities in any nation. Just like many students, they write about Quaid-e-Azam, they write about Allama Iqbal, or maybe they want to write about any celebrity or whatever. So you will give the introduction of the worth of personality in any nation. It can be in 4 to 5 lines, and then you will write about the brief introduction of the personality. Okay? Yes. Where they born, when they born, and what did they do in their childhood, any achievements. And in the second and third paragraph, means in the body paragraph, life events. Okay? So in the life events, you can discuss or you can write 2 or 3 main life events, and then you will write the conclusion. So be creative, don't trend, write by your own self. It is very easy, just get the collection and get the information of any kind of personality, just like my personality, yeah, my favorite personality. Okay, sorry, this is our my favorite personality. Okay, if you want to write about your personality, means my personality, you can write it just like autobiography. And if you are asked my favorite personality, so you will give the brief introduction of the worth of personalities in any nation, and then you will write about life events, works experience, and then you will conclude your essay with 2 to 3 lines. So this is our lecture, and you will copy your work from our web portal. There are question answers. Yes, on page number 31. Come to the page number 31. There is a heading composition. Question number 2. What was her message to the blind and deaf children? Okay, this is a question. Write in first person. Use the following vocabulary. Start like this. So in this paragraph you will write just like that. My dear sons and daughters, always be happy. Never curse your fate. And Desh can read and write. So you will use the first person. First person means I or we. You can write I or we. I can read and write. I can lead a useful life. I can do everything in the world, and goodbye. So you will copy these all things and submit your copies as soon as possible in school for checking. Take care of yourself and your family. Allah Hafiz.